Friends, I have not been to the woods in weeks. Oh my gosh, look how green everything is. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like, the level of excitement I feel is ridiculous. It's too much, frankly, for what's going on. Oh, look how low the river is today. Look how beautiful it is. I'm gonna be, if you don't hear from me, it's because I've been stolen by fairies, clearly. Look at those birch trees. Obviously, fairy realm. Oh, it's so beautiful. Hello Sunshines, welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, and I don't know, TikTok. I'm kind of on there. How are you? Today is June 20th, 2023. I think all of that information is correct. It's definitely 2023. And I believe this is vlog number 19 for the year. But that number may be incorrect. I apologize. So how are you? I am doing okay. I'm officially on summer break. I have just a few weeks until I go back to teaching summer school. And yeah, I had a lovely day today. We went to the beach. It is evening time now. I am very tired. But I figured I would open this vlog so I could show you what I worked on today. And yesterday. First, where did my voice go? Okay, so first I have the Sock Wave sock. It's a pattern by Alendria Knits, and I will insert some pictures here. I am only knitting one of these socks because I knit it using leftover bits of yarn, and I don't have enough of either color to make a second sock. So I'm not going to. It's fine. I put the first sock on though, and I was like, man, I kind of wish that I was making a second sock, even though as I was finishing the sock, I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm not making a second sock. Not because it's bad. It is super well written. The chart is really easy to follow. It's just not the sort of thing I have brain space for. And I already have a colorwork sock that is taking up a lot of brain space. So yeah, I might go back and knit this pattern again, but for now, I'm just going to put this single sock in my kiddos' sock basket because they don't wear their socks matched anyway. So, Sock Wave by Alendria Knits. I also worked on Exploration Station, and look, I have how many bound off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that means I have I think there are 30. I think I have 25 to go, but I might be a liar. So still a long way to go for binding off, but at least I've started it. I feasibly could finish it tomorrow. I could get pretty far tonight. We'll see what I'm doing with my evening. I don't know yet. And then the other thing that I worked on today, two things actually. I have this, which is a test knit for Alendria Knits. This is all I can show you. It's a secret test knit, so I'm not going to be able to show you the rest, but until it comes out. But I did start the cuff. I'm a little more than halfway through the cuff, or maybe I'm right at halfway through the cuff. I don't know. So yeah, started the cuff. I imagine that I will knock these out pretty quickly so that I can give feedback and be done with it. and then I'll show you when they're done. And then also, if you watched the last really random vlog that I did, I started this. This is a sun hat. I promise it's a sun hat. But I didn't have any sort of tubing or boning. I thought I had boning for like corsets in my stash, but I didn't. So today, on our way to the beach, I stopped by Joann and I picked up this cording. It's for furniture, like upholstery for outdoor furniture, but I think that'll be fine for a sun hat, and it gives the edge a lot of body. You can see now it's standing up instead of being a floppy mess, so that'll help it stand up more. I haven't decided yet if I want to try to like pipe some of these seams or not with it. We'll see how it stands up once I finish sewing in the piping. I think I'm not quite halfway around the hat. Let's see. I'm very close to halfway. I'm 5 out of 12 wedges sewn in. So I'm not saying I'm going to finish the first 3 projects but tomorrow, but I might. It could happen. They're all very close. What are the first 3 projects? Now I only remember the 2. Oh my gosh. The shawl and this, I think I'm going to finish. Was there even... No, I think the 3rd one was already a finished thing. Never mind me. Y'all, I was at the beach from 10 until 6. That is a very long beach day. I am tired. So I'm going to put myself in my bed and read a little bit and maybe knit or sew or, I don't know, watch something on Netflix. Who knows? I'm going to relax right now is what I'm going to do. Ba-da-da-da. Look at that. For a moment there, I thought that this might never be a finished object, but hello, it is Friday. Colby, what day is it? Biscuit day? He says it's biscuit day. Just making biscuits? Yeah. Just a little biscuit maker. Yeah. It is Friday, June 23rd, and I have finished this shawl. I am super pleased. This is the Exploration Station by Stephen West, and it is finally finished. I knew it would be. I knew as soon as summer break hit that it would be so quick, and it was. Even doing an I-cord bind off on the edge. It's not blocked yet, and maybe you can tell by the lighting that it is a very rainy day today. So I'm not going to block it today because it wouldn't dry. But first of all, I'm super excited that it's a rainy day because I love rainy days. I love them so much. Snow is my favorite, but snow is such a small percentage of Michigan weather. So rainy days are a super, super close second. I love them. Anyway, I was watching the Summer Yarny YouTube video, hop videos, and finished this up. So I am super excited. That makes 4 finished projects this week. That's awesome. I know one of those projects was just a single sock, but it still counts. I finished the project because my goal when I started that sock was just to make the single sock. So, finished project. I am super proud of myself. I've been completing so much stuff that, hello, Colbius. Yes, hello. That I think I am going to pull out some scrappy blankets and start working on those because it is all the small things. And yes, I have finished 4 things this week, but I haven't worked on scrappy blankets pretty much at all. You think that's your shawl? Sir, we will fight. We will fight. There can be kitten death. We don't want the kitten death. So yeah, I think I'm going to pull out a scrappy blanket and work on that. And, oh, he says he's going to fight me for it. Look at that. Just fighting me for it. Okay. Oh, very vicious. Anyway, back to the shawl. I have about 40 grams left of the black. And on my bingo sheet, I have a sockhead hat for my friend Kevin. Do we think 40 grams will give me a not slouchy sockhead hat? I think it will. Because he wouldn't wear like slouchy, but I like the idea. I definitely want to make it black because that's the only color hat he's going to wear. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that with this leftover because, as you know, I'm trying to use up remnants and leftovers, some scraps and stuff. Okay, say goodbye, Colby. Rude. You gonna say goodbye? No. Rude. Hey friends, how is it already Sunday? It's the 25th. Is that right? Yes. 25. That says a 25 over there. It's the 25th of June. How are you? I am doing fine. I am wearing some lipstick because I went to the bathroom and it was sitting on the counter and I was like, ooh, let's put that on. No reason. I don't have a reason to look fancy. I'm literally just hanging out on my bed, writing my journal, knitting, and reading in between laundry today. That's my whole plan for today. So maybe I'll show you some knitting things. I'll see how much footage I'm at right now, but I feel like this is going to be a 2-week vlog, not a 1-week vlog, because I don't think I've really recorded this week. Anyway, my favorite little thing just happened. So my littlest is going to be 13 later this year, and she is going to be getting a cell phone because that's the rule. She couldn't have one until she turned 13, and now she's like asking me all these questions about editing and stuff, and I'm like, not your business. And she's like, I just want to start researching and get ready. And I'm like, oh, I'm not ready. And so like I'm setting up rules and stuff for her, and she's like, okay, great. And if my friends come over and they swear on my recordings, I'm going to tell them on camera not to swear in front of my mermaids, aka my fans. And I was like, yes, I love that. I love that so much. So much. Like, I love when people call the people who are watching their things something. Like, I say sunshines, and Angie from Love and Every Stitches calls people her cousins, and Amanda from, why am I drawing a blank? With Kate, calls people kittens, and I just love that. I love it so much, and I love that hers is mermaids. All right, friends, as you can see, I am getting dangerously close to finishing this corner to corner blanket, and like this will be done by the end of summer break, no problem. I could probably finish it tonight if I wanted to sit down and do it, honestly. But I don't, so I'm not going to. Because this is the blanket where yarn goes to die. But when I started this blanket, I set myself out a rule that every row would be different, and so nothing stacks. And for the most part, that's true. And I also had a rule where it needed to be a strand of a neutral color held together with a different strand. So rules, right? If you've been around for a while, you know that I make a bunch of arbitrary rules, and that's the one for this blanket. Well, I held 2 strands of fingering together or had a DK weight yarn. And that's great. But this blanket has taken me a while. I think it's been going for more than, or very close to 2 years. And I have, so this is going to my nephew when he graduates high school next year. Well, I also have another nephew who's graduating high school next year. So I want to make him a blanket. And my nephews are not the kind who are like put off by certain colors like pinks or purples or anything like that. My nephews don't care. They paint their nails. Sometimes they wear eye makeup. Their girlfriends think it's real cute, so they don't care. They don't care. Those are my kiddos. So I don't have any color restrictions. Ooh, the sun's coming out. You can see that way better. It's a very cloudy day, like there were storms earlier. So, all right, there we go. So this blanket took me a while. My plan for the other blanket is that I'm going to do 3 strands or a DK weight, 3 strands of fingering or a DK and a fingering, or my worsted weight scraps can go in the blanket even. That's my thought process. And I'm not going to give myself the rule of having to change color every row. I'm just going to go with use up the scrap until it runs out, especially because when you're using 3 scraps instead of 2, it can change up much more frequently. And I am going to start it today because I have used this mini a lot towards the end here. You can see it's in this row, it's in part of this row, and it's in this row, and I don't want to use it in this blanket anymore. But I don't want to use it in any of my other blankets either. It's in a few of my other blankets. And this is leftover from the skirt that I made from my daughter, and I don't have a project in mind for it. So this is actually going to work out really nicely having this blanket that's a little bit thicker, because I have a bunch of thicker scraps and leftovers from my sister that I can use in another blanket. So I am going to start today. This blanket, the original corner to corner that I started, is using a size J hook, which is 6.0 millimeter. And my other options with adding a strand of yarn is I'm either going to go up to a K, which is a 6.5 millimeter, or the next size up I have in my hook stash that I found was an M, which is a 9 millimeter. I think I'm probably going to use the K, but let's see. Let's do a beginning cluster, shall we? All right, so here is the start of the new blanket. Using the size K hook. I don't think I need to go up at all. That looks like a pretty good gauge. Sorry, there's animals and children in my room now. So I like this gauge. I like the way it's turning out. I think it'll be good, and it'll work up much faster, as you can tell, like size-wise from one to the other. That's a huge change. So that's good. That's good. Hello, supervisor. Of course. You know that I'm talking. You need to be a part of this video. Sure. Hello, sunshines. Happy Saturday, the 1st of July. How are you? I am exhausted. So I live in Michigan. I don't know if I've said that this vlog, but as a lot of the states on this side of the U.S. have been affected, we have had really poor air quality for the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But this week it was really, really bad. And as you can tell, my lungs are not doing as great as they should be. So I have been sleeping a lot this week. There have been multiple days where it's been a 2-nap day because my body is just like, what are we doing? No, thank you. And I've got like these super dark bags under my eyes right now. I only slept 3 hours last night, and I tried to take a nap this morning, and my buddy's like, we've met our capacity for sleep for the week. You're just gonna have to tough it out. So I'm a little tired now, but I have been productive while I've been awake. On Thursday, I had so much fun. I went to the bougie mall by me. It's not super by me, but my best friend is dog sitting, and she's dog sitting by the bougie mall. So we went to the bougie mall and tried on some dresses that we couldn't afford. But listen, if they had had this yellow dress in my size, I would have really, really considered. The problem is I needed the top to be bigger, and I needed the waistband to be just a teeny bit smaller. So I didn't get it. And also the denim dress, it was too big, but they didn't have my size. And I didn't want to try on the one that would be too small, because that would be worse, right? So it's good. It's good they didn't have my size in either of those dresses, because I don't need to spend that much money on dresses that... When would I wear them? See, this is the problem. I liked the idea of dresses. Anybody else? I like the idea of maxi dresses, but in my real life, I don't wear them. I guess I could wear them in my teacher life, but neither of those are really teacher appropriate, like school appropriate. I guess the denim one's not bad if it fit and wasn't falling off my shoulders. Anyway, I just wanted to share that moment of joy of hanging out with my best friend. So when we were discussing my whips, you remember that whip parade video? I mentioned that I was going to be doing a secret test knit, so I couldn't tell you about it, but I just showed you the yarn. Well, now it's been revealed to the public. I don't know if it will be released by the time I publish this vlog. Let's just say yes. It's probably going to be released, knowing me. This is the Smock It Like It's Hot pattern by Alendria Knits, and it is written to use minis. There's a 2-color version and a 3-color version. I did the 2-color version, and I used leftovers from my, what is that shawl? Exploration Station from Stephen West to make these socks. So they're really cute. They're mirrored. And yeah, I just finished the second one this morning. So I am pleased with how they turned out. I like these colors together. And they're a good length for in my shoes. And I feel like I need more socks with like gray and black cuffs for summertime for my shorties, because I don't mind if the socks don't match, but I kind of wish that the cuffs didn't show so brightly because almost all of my clothes are black. Don't focus on the messy room. Focus on the fact that my t-shirt is black, my shorts are black, like almost all of my stuff is black, and then I have usually like bright socks hanging out. I also finished one of my over-the-knee socks. Look how cute it turned out. Don't mind this giant hole here. I haven't woven in ends. I did knit in most of my, or about half of my ends, but I still have to weave in some ends. I didn't get that far. But there's this. And fun story for this is that my sister was appalled that I had never been day drinking before. So she had her boyfriend pick me up, and we went to the bar that she was working at. And I was on the foot when I got to the bar. I think I was like here-ish because I worked on this part at the movies. My sister and I on Tuesday went and saw No Hard Feelings, which was, it was okay, except I tremendously suffer from secondhand embarrassment. And that movie, like, had so much secondhand embarrassment at the beginning that I was just like, I can't. It was awful. But we stayed, and it turned out okay. But I only had this sock with me, and I was going to do a heel flap and a gusset, but I didn't bring the green, and I didn't want to start a heel flap in the movies, so I was like, well, I guess we're just going to do a cut and afterthought heel later. So that's what I did, and yeah. So I finished the sock and did the toe at the bar and then cut in the heel at the bar and finished the sock at the bar. So that's that. And then on Friday last week, I was working on this sock, and I also had the other sock in my bag. And then I lost the second sock, and it has been missing since last week Friday. And I was really sad and thought that I was never going to find it again, and I was going to have to start anew. And yes, that's not a lot of work, but the thing I was worried about was finding an elastic that would feel the same as the other sock and fit the same, because what I used for the elastic for inside the folded hem is an elastic band off of a pair of boxers that got worn out, but the elastic was still great on it. So no worries, I have it. And now I can knit my second sock, which is super exciting. It went missing because my dog knocked it off of the bed to under the bed, and then I assume that every time I have looked for it under the bed, my dog has been under the bed, and it just blended in with her, because you can see it's got some Molly furs on there and some dust and stuff. It's fine. It's fine. I do sweep under my bed, which is how I just found it, because I just swept under my bed. Anyway, book update. I am still reading the Book of Longings, but I set it aside for a few days because I went to the library. I had a book on hold, and I have been wanting to pick up Hideaway by Penelope Douglas for a while. I read the first book. This is in the Devil's Night series. I read the first book called Corrupt, I don't know, a year and a half ago, some amount of time ago. And I really liked it, even though it's not a genre that I read a lot. It's kind of like a dark romance, mafia sort of thing, which turns out to be a subgenre of romance that I like a lot, but don't want to read a lot of, if that makes sense. Like, when I read it, I really, really like it, but I'm not like, you know what I want to read today? Some dark romance. So I was like feeling it. I was like, that's what I want to read. And I was like, no, you have so many books on your TBR, because I have 22 books on my TBR, 2 of which I finished before we started summer break. So it was really only 20 for summer break, but I've only finished 1 of those books in the 2 weeks since school is out. This one's another one. And I was like, no, I shouldn't. And then I was like, why? Why not? If that's what I want to read, that's what I should read. So I read it in not very many days, and I enjoyed the story. The male main character is a character who was a secondary character in the first book, who I really was drawn to. Like, I wanted to know more about him, so that was exciting. And then the female main character was just really interesting. Not typical female main character, I don't feel. So, yeah, I liked it a lot. I will probably be looking into the third book, in another year or so. Because I think this book says there's like 6 in the series. There could be more. Who knows? I didn't do my research. But anyway, the Book of Longings. I'm still reading it. It's still good. I'm still listening to Towers of Midnight. I'm getting close on that one though, I feel. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to go clean and read and knit because I'm cleaning my room today. But I saw these things and I was like, oh yes, I should record about those. I'll check in with you before this vlog ends, I'm sure. All right, friends, I'm currently editing this vlog right here. Yes, this one. And I'm out of clips, so let's wrap it up. This is as far as I got on that second tube sock, which is pretty good. I'm through the stripes. I'm like halfway down the leg, so pleased with that progress. And do you remember when I was talking about the headbands and hats and stuff that I was making for the kiddos at school? Well, this is the headband. I didn't finish it in time, but it is okay because I will just give it to the student in the fall. So, headband finished, and yeah, and the sock is going pretty well. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.